What the fuck is up? All right, so we're back right now with a quick ass tier list because I was watching one and I was like, damn, this is a 30-minute video. This shit is unnecessary. You're fucking doing too much. So we're gonna sit here and start with the basics, okay? We're gonna start with solo PvP. So you cannot go wrong. Where is it? Actually, this is controversial. Bow. We're going with the bow for fucking S tier. You know why? Actually, let's move it to an A tier because you have to land your shots. This weapon in a solo PvP environment will do wonders for you because it has so much mobility. The dot, a knockdown, like it has so much for you with perma slows. If you shoot people in their legs, it can do a lot for you and it does high damage. That's the best thing about the bow. The biggest issue with it, you gotta land your fucking shots. So if you're a potato, don't even try it. I want to put Fire Staff A. I think Fire Staff is A. The reason for Fire Staff being an A tier for solo PvP because you can take the Flame Ring that will push people back. You can take the dash to create distance or gap close, and Fireball does a lot of burst damage. There's other ones that you can take, but I kind of think that they're not worth taking at the moment. Obviously, like the Rain of Fire is not worth it, but this is a very good weapon because it also gives you crit chance increases. I think all the weapons give you crit chance at a later point, but it has in this talent tree, it gives you like 15% increased crit chance. So in a PvP environment, you can literally blow somebody up like 100% of their HP to like 50 with like one ability sometimes, maybe two max. But you will do so much damage, and you have burn effects that also have a chance to crit, so you're just melting people. All right, Frost Gauntlet. We're gonna put a C for Frost Gauntlet. I think a lot of people like the Frost Gauntlet, but my issue with it, the slows don't do enough. I cannot tell yet if they think that slows are fine or not fine. But to me, I think slows are not fine because most of the slows in the game, like the bow slow is okay because the bow has so much mobility on it. Normally, you're gonna be light with the bow, but for the Frost Gauntlet, the slow is negligible. Like I think it's like 10%, which the bow is 10% if I'm not mistaken. Like it doesn't really do. Yes, you can freeze your targets, and unless they're melee, because the pylon doesn't really do a lot. The pylon can do something, but it's really not gonna do a lot. To be honest, I don't personally believe it does a lot. The ice wall is very good if you know what you're doing with it. The ice wall is very good. The AOE snowstorm does nothing. It's better for PVE. What else? The little spike ability, it does no damage as far as I can see. Like it didn't really do any damage ever. So I'm gonna leave it as a C tier here. Now, before changes, this shit is S tier. Life staff is fucking busted, man. This shit is not okay. This shit heals way too fucking much. Hopefully they're gonna nerf it by like 20% or like do like a 10% nerf and then also give us like enchants because there's no enchants in the game if you guys noticed. And if enchants are in the game, it's more shit to play with. So now we can take enchants into dungeons. We don't need all these anti-healing enchants. We could take, I don't know, a couple more dexterity, whatever the fuck you want, right? I think it's something cool to think about. So life staff is S tier as fuck. There's just so much you can do with it. I don't even think I should go into like a lot of detail because it's just broken. If you touch it, the moment your hand touches it, you understand why it's broken. So let's go with the spear. Spear is B tier. Now the reason why I think, even though I think it should be A tier, the spear is B tier because if you don't have a bleed effect on it without the actual like abilities giving you a bleed, I feel like it does no damage. I feel like it's a very heavy CC machine and like it's a heavy CC machine with good range on it, but the issue with it is again the damage. The damage is very low. So most people run these two, the bow and the spear, because you can do a shit ton of damage with the bow and then swap spear when they get close, do a couple hits, do some CC, and then back up back into the bow and actually do real damage, right? So this is a great utility weapon. The sweep, the kick, like the leap forward kick, super good. Even the javelin throw can be good as like get away from me ability and everything. Again, it has a bleed on it, and the reason why I said the bleed effect too, because you can have a double bleed. You can get the one where I think it's like the first row on the right. You can hit it, it'll hit them, and it adds a bleed to them. And if it crits, it has a second bleed, so you can double dot somebody, which is fucking insane. Sword. I actually think sword's not bad because sword has to be paired with shield. And from my in like solo PvP and solo PvP, D. Actually C, because most of the weapons aren't that bad. So solo PvP, yeah, this is a C because you can do very good damage. You can block a lot, but you're not that mobile because you're using the shield. So you kind of got to sit there and eat shots with the shield and then get in close with the sword and try to do some damage. So I don't think it's the greatest. It doesn't have a lot of gap close. It doesn't have a lot of CC. It just kind of does damage. But you basically are a tank, to be honest, with the sword. Like, you got to be a tank. Musket. Sheesh. I think I'm going to put this. Nope, not for solo. For solo play, let's see. The musket is one of my favorite weapons in the goddamn game. But this shit's a fucking C. Like, this shit is so strong but so weak at the same time. Like, if anyone gets melee range of you, you're fucked. Don't even, like, even once you get the perk where you can like roll and reload a bullet during the roll, you're still fucking useless because it takes too long sometimes to shoot it, and sometimes I don't know if this was intentional, but sometimes I'd actually have to hit R to like reload the gun. Like, it wouldn't reload by itself if I was running too long and shot like 5 bullets or some shit. So yeah, even though I love it, it's not going up there. This shit, is it a B? There's a B or A. B or A. I think it's a B. Now, the reason why it's a B is because most of the animations are super slow. You can dodge half of them. There's one that's a stun in like a 3-meter radius. You can dodge it or parry it very easily because the animation takes so long. The ground slam that sends out a shockwave that slows people and displaces, that you can eye roll through, so you can use your roll and be immune to it altogether. So yeah, I kind of think it's not that great. There's some when like you're in melee range, it does pretty good, but it also has slow swings again, so it makes it to where if you have stamina, you can honestly dodge it if you want to. Now this one, rapier. Actually, let's put the rapier before the fire staff because I think fire staff is good, but rapier is just really fucking solid. I think the actually is rapier S tier. Um, rapier S tier. I don't think so. Rapier S tier. Okay, rapier mixed with the fire staff, S tier for sure. Mixed with the bow or gun, A tier, not S for sure. But because it's so high on this, I do want to give it an S. Basically, the rapier just is so mobile. You can dodge people's attack in PvP. This is all PvP based, solo PvP. You can dodge a lot of people's attacks very fucking easily and just like sidestep out the way. If you want the bleeds, you can add bleeds to them and go back to like your bow and have more bleeds and everything. Or your fire staff, and like you can have a bleed from your rapier, which also allows you to be mobile and repost and everything and stun somebody. And your fire staff can add another like 8 dots to somebody, so you can go from 0 dots to like 10 dots that are just blowing somebody up. Like, you don't have to touch them. So I think the rapier is very good. Mobile as fuck, which is always going to be great in PvP. The repost is super good because if you time attacks right, again, this is why I didn't really give the hammer A tier list, because the rapier hard counters that shit. Hard counters everything you can see coming, and all you have to do is hit one button and you'll stun somebody out of it, or you just won't be touched by it at all. So the rapier just hard counters this. The rapier hard counters the what's it called, spear also to an extent. It just depends. Like, the rapier is just very very good, and it does very high burst damage, and also with the intel build it does good damage. So it's all around pretty solid. The great axe, man, everybody knew the great axe was going. The great axe, actually, the healing has to stay first, but the great axe is for sure S tier. Gap closers, a pool. What can you want? What more? Oh wait, and gravity well. What more can you want? This shit has it all. Literally, there's barely any gap closers in the game. This gives you a gap closer, a very good one too. Not only does it give you a gap closer, it gives you basically like a root type of situation. It gives you a root actually, because the second part of gravity well actually does root for a little bit, so you can't like roll. You can move a little bit, but you can't roll. So very big item, worth picking up if you're gonna solo PvP. This is a go-to. And then Hatchet. Hatchet is easily fucking S tier again because it provides solo healing. What's called, and the healing is very strong on it. So I think it's based off Constitution. The healing is very strong. The DPS is okay. If you hit somebody in the back who's running away with one of the abilities, you root them, so you get to beat their shit in right after. So very solid weapon right there. Like, this Hatchet and Great Axe combo, I think is going to be a classic, a staple, and I think rapier fire staff is going to be a staple. I also think spear bow will be a staple for solo PvP. Those are the combos. If you want solo PvP combos, hatchet, great axe. If you want another one that you might not want to be a whole bunch of strength, you want to be a little agile, rapier, fire staff, or spear, bow. These are very great options in multiple different ways. They all have different play styles. It feels fucking amazing. But yes, I'm gonna say it for the last time. Hatchet, Great Axe, one of the best combos. There's a lot of sustain, a lot of damage, a lot of CC. Great. Rapier, Fire Staff, very hard to touch. Big burst damage, very good defense, very very good overall. To be honest, bow, spear, very solid. Bow just very unreliable unless you're that good. If you're Shroud, you might just be, it's like a god, to be honest. All the rest are kind of whatever, to be honest. The musket can do a lot, but we'll get into that in the next section. So I just want you guys to see this and know this is the tier list for the weapons that are out at the moment. I don't want to go into the new ones coming out because I don't know enough about them. I need to play with them, but I will make a video when they come out for sure. Low key, I think this is some pussy shit. Not really though. This is probably the best way to roll in New World. Like, let me be honest. All right, I want to start off kind of quick on this one. Go Hatchet, Great Axe. I already told you earlier, combo fucking broken, very fucking good. It's very reliable in so many ways. If you want to just go run into somebody and hit your left click button so hard until your fucking thumb falls off or fucking whatever the fuck you're touching it with, yeah, this is the play. But because in a two-person, we're gonna go with two-man groups. 4-mans, I might speak on those a little bit, but two-man group, having a frontline tank is always your BIS. I cannot lie. Do have somebody either frontlining, and I'll get into it later because you can also do a double range setup that will shit on people. But you cannot go wrong with the heavy DPS in the front. Fucking eating all the damage, putting out CC and everything. While you have your healer. Obviously, there's no way healing is not S tier in fucking PvP. Come on, guys, wake the fuck up. Okay, so, hey, you're healing this motherfucker. Like, you're healing the big ass damage dealer. Not only because in reality you can do damage with this. What is the some people do like fire staff, but I'd say fire staff. Well, I don't want to add it in like that in like a combo type of deal. But these two are easily, and then the life staff is very fucking good again because you're healing people and everything. Like, you're doing the job, right? So the second thing I want to talk about, man. So musket moves up because musket kind of either requires you. I think I'm gonna put it B tier. Yeah, I think it's okay B tier. It's only moved up one. Musket does a shit ton of damage from range. You can actually fuck people with the musket before they can touch you half the time if you play it right. I was using personally because I really enjoyed the musket for PvP. I was using I don't remember the ability. Basically, you would kneel and you would get to shoot 5 bullets in rapid succession, right? And that shit will blow somebody up. You put a fire charge in there, shoot, and the fire charge has a ability while they're burning. You do 10% more damage, right? While they're burning. So every shot is doing 10% more damage. You're just chunking, bro. Before this melee guy and healer guy can get to you, you're fucking chunking, bro. The healer's like, fuck, I gotta heal you. The fucking axe dude is trying to run up to you, but you gotta hide behind trees and shit. And all while they're hiding, you're creating distance. You're creating distance, turning around, shooting them in the fucking head again. That also leaves me because again, boom, we're gonna move this up to A tier now. Because being able to have a lot of CC, which the spear does, it just makes it to where if you're with a partner, you both can shit on somebody very quickly. You can hit a corner, land CC on them, perma stun them, and just completely knock them down. Or you can throw javelin at the healer and try to knock the other person down very quickly and kill. Like, it just provides so much. Again, like, it combos very well with this and the bow. Like, the spear is just very nice. The spear is a very solid all around weapon to me. It just doesn't get the job done when you want max damage. But when you need to like CC and get a little bit of damage, or you might be able to finish somebody, this is for sure like for you. Again, we're going with the bow. The bow in the bow in a duo area is still very good. I think it was A tier before, but I lowered it because in a 2-man setting, this is the combo I'm talking about. You can have somebody with a musket and somebody with a bow, kind of both rocking spears, or one person rocking a rapier. But basically, you're just unreliable on damage. Again, if you're reliable on damage, this shit can go up to S tier, but it's not because you're very unreliable on damage sometimes. And this combo from a range while people are trying to run to you can do so much damage. Both you can have ticks of damage. If you both hit one person with the toxic shot from this and the fire shot from this, that in and of itself can burn somebody from 100% HP because you have to hit them still. With the toxic one you don't, but the gun you have to hit them, so that they're gonna lose 10% from just a shot, right? This is gonna burn them for another 20%, right? Not only that, this, because this is actually stronger than the fire shot, will tick them down. Say you miss the shot, so they start off at 90% HP. The combo will hit them for like 40% HP while they try to close the gap on you. So you do 50% of somebody's HP without touching them, basically. It is fucking insane. Like, it's fucking insane. Combos, and you both are super agile with the spear, got good CC, so you can handle your own. And that's what I like about it, because these combos, you can handle yourself. You don't need anybody else. This, you can handle yourself, but because the light wearers can kite so heavily, you're kind of fucked, to be honest. Like, the light users can kite you so fucking long. If they have the energy for it, they're gonna fuck you. All right, let's continue. So fire staff. Fire staff is gonna go to A again. Actually, it's going to S, because with fire staff, again, once you get some gear and everything, early on it's not gonna be that strong, but once you get some gear, you literally can blow somebody up. Again, I said this before, like, you in solo, you can blow somebody up, and now you have 2 people on you. Say it's the 2v2. Now you have 2 people on you, or even 4. You can literally throw damage from a range. You can throw fireball. It might hit somebody for 2k, right? Because it crits. The crit hits hard, and you have the firing that pushes people away, which adds like 7 fucking dots. If you hit both people with it, and the one's a healer, they're gonna have a struggle. They're gonna have to stop moving. They have to stop moving and get healed up, or if they continue to chase it, they're gonna die, to be honest. Again, Rapier, S tier, I think. I think Rapier is gonna be S tier, because Rapier allows, again, a lot of mobility, which is crazy, because and me making, I haven't like pre-scripted none of this. I'm kind of just talking, and from my experiences of the beta, it's kind of insane to me, because a lot of people used to think, oh, all these weapons kind of suck dick. Yeah, in reality, I never thought so. The only one I still think is not that great is the what is it called, the Ice Gauntlet, but in the duo setting is pretty decent still. But Rapier again, mobility, damage, burst damage, repost is good, bleeds. Like, you just have so much you can do with the kit. It's just very hard to deal with, I'll be honest. Like, if one of these guys get up on you, you hit them with a couple auto attacks, use the little dash, you know what I mean? They try to use an ability, you repost them, smack them in the head and shit, tell them to suck my dick, and then you fucking run away, and then you turn around with the bow or something and shoot them a couple times and they die. Super good. Light users, I think, are the best for PvP open world, for the reason being, you are so agile. It is hard for the melees who don't have healers 9 times out of 10 to keep up with you. And then again, in a duo setting, they can barely, the DPS can barely touch you, but like, yeah, they're getting healed, but they can barely touch you, so it's kind of okay, honestly. Like, well, like, I think these are the best like combo for healer. Like, healer should be with one of the frontline DPS. I don't really think they should both be ranged. I kind of think disruption, so the healer can do his job as healing and doing a little bit of damage, is very good. And that's another thing with the musket. The musket is very good when you have a front line. The musket actually does a pump damage when you have a front line, as long as you land your shots. For obviously for both of them, if you land your shots, you pump damage. But with this, you can pump a lot of damage, to be honest. Like, you can knock them down, you can CC 10, like, and you can headshot people for like 3,000 hits. It's ridiculous. All right, this. Oh man, Ice Gauntlet. I I really don't believe it's B tier. Let me just drop it, 'cause I don't want to hold it. I don't think it's B tier, but I don't think it's C tier. I feel like it's like in the middle of here. So maybe it is B tier. Cause and let's move this, cause that's really how it goes. Like, let's put, yeah, I think this is fine. Yeah, something like that. I think, man, Ice Gauntlet. Because again, the ice wall, the only part that I always think to myself is very fucking good. That Ice Gauntlet like wall is so fucking good, but it requires people to be melee range at you, or you can somehow try to gap close on them and use it on them from melee. That's unreliable, in my opinion. I didn't get to run with it too much. Again, the AoE storm isn't that good. The pylon can do some things, but if they have either if they're running with a healer or an archer of some sort, they just shoot it one time and it dies. So it's like, you can freeze people. Yeah, Ice Spike range is like medium range, which is very fucking bad, because if you're medium range, you're not in range of these two, and if you're medium range, you're not in range of, or they're in melee. So yeah, it has a gap. So I think I'm gonna put it to C, actually. I think it's not that great. I'm trying to remember the other abilities in there for it. The little cone is really useless. I think it's only PvE focused, to be honest. Like, what else? What else is in there? Pylon. Oh yeah, the little ice shield that people use. I have an issue with it. I think it's okay for like world PvP, but in reality, like the little shield thingy, it kind of fucks you because it makes you stand there in a like a area. So somebody, yes, you can. It has a little buff where like it blows up and like pushes people away or whatever. But that's not really worth it in my opinion because like, well, you're melee now and you're probably not heavy user, like heavy armor user, so you're gonna take a lot more damage. You don't want people with melee range of you, and if you need to regen mana in the middle of a fight, I feel like you're doing it wrong. That's why I think the rapier fire staff combo is so good because the fire staff fucking eats at your mana, but you go to rapier and it takes no mana. So also the fire staff you can do heavy attacks when that don't cost mana and refund some mana. So you can keep swapping between these two. So it's really good. But this one is like, I don't think you run out of mana. It's just the defensive aspects aren't good enough. The slow has never been good enough. I think they should buff the slow by another 10%, maybe make it the biggest slow in the game, to be honest, to make it more viable. But yeah, the Ice Gauntlet to me is just questionable. Sword in a duo, actually, I think might be A tier. Could be A tier because you had a lot of disruption. Like if you have this and hammer, you can get in range of the like the range people, and your shield eats all the damage from their weapons. So and you take actually no damage unless it like breaks, but normally that doesn't happen. Again, you kind of behind the shield, dodge, do all that stuff. So I think the sword actually goes up and is better than these two in that sense. But like this is saying that you have either a healer with you or like some other range with you because you can get in there and disrupt basically. You disrupt with the hammer really or the great axe. You get in there, you know, front line for a little bit. Once you get in melee range, if you can, you can't die. I don't believe you can die very easily in the 2v2 setting with this build because again, like you do decent damage. Like it's enough to scare somebody to make them not able to sit there and eat your damage. Like the heavy armor users might be able to be, but you guys basically have the same constitution. And like, yeah, if you're going up against this and you're that, it could be questionable. You'll probably get your shit kicked in, and I think this is actually going to be the most ran come launch. So you know, take it with a grain of salt. But this is very good. You counter what counters them, to be honest, basically. But they counter you still to an extent because of the fact that you don't have enough damage to put out. A great hammer, and I think this is where it goes. Honestly, in a 2+ situation, I think this is where it goes because you landing any CC at any time basically fucks them. Like again, the only issue with the hammer, but again, this is why I say in a 2v2 aspect is better because in a 2v2 aspect, people may not be able to react to your abilities as much. So CC is more reliable, and that's always better. And it does very high damage, to be honest. Like the CC doesn't do that much damage, but the auto attacks on this do a lot of damage. Granted, the auto attacks are very low, but adding CC to where your teammates can hit them for free, basically, as slows and all that, very very fucking good. So this is my tier list for this. I don't think any weapon is ever going to go into D tier, to be honest. Actually, come the PvE version of this, it will for sure. Like, there's going to be a couple of them, but or maybe just one. But for now, I think this is the PvP for 2+ groups, like standard. Like this should be, these should be taken into consideration. Me personally, I will be rocking either a bow or musket with a rapier, and until I can get higher levels with my fire staff to use it and all that, because I think those are like the four funnest like weapons for me personally. I don't really like the left click play style. I think the spear is very fun, but again, I just rather be very agile. Like I don't know, like once daggers get in the game, we'll see. I might switch one of these out, but yeah, like this is my tier list. So let me know what you guys think about it because I think it's pretty good, honestly. Like this video actually did come out pretty long, to be honest. But yeah, this is a very very fucking good tier list. I think like again, Ice Gauntlet. Some people may be very mad at me about it, but in reality, it's very hard to justify it. In my opinion, the damage isn't consistent. The burst damage isn't consistent. Like it's hard to land damage, and the CC that it is supposed to provide is very weak. It's weak. It's just as strong as the bow, and the bow has mobility. This doesn't have mobility, and the little glacial thing that puts you in a fucking pillar of ice, it makes you stationary. Yeah, you can quote unquote tank for a little bit, but in reality, letting people set up on you to where when you pop, they can if they're ranged can shoot you Like it's not worth it in my opinion. It's just not worth it. Like you shouldn't need to if you have mana issues during PvP, I feel like you're gonna be in a world of hurt because these people don't have mana issues. These people don't have mana issues. We might run out of bullets. That's also one thing I ate. It's been some time where I'm shooting somebody, I almost killed it. I got like 7 bullets of them. Like it's not gonna happen. I gotta leave now. But that's on me. But all right, guys, that's a quick little tier list. Not really quick because it's just gonna be like 20-minute video and shit. Holy fuck! But if you want a PvP in New World, I recommend that. PvP in New World is gonna be the best thing ever in so many ways. I think tab targeting has kind of been played out, maybe because all of the games are tab target, and this one it requires a lot of skill. The game is not perfect by any means, but no game is perfect. Nothing in life is perfect. I can't wait for this game to release, and I hope to see you guys on release. Hopefully, you guys leave some comments in the description below and all that, and tell me how the fuck I'm wrong because I'm probably am. But fuck it, I want to hear it. To be honest, like let me know why I'm wrong. You know, maybe you'll change my mind. But until then, guys, I hope New World comes out sooner. I hope you guys all have a great day. Peace.